Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to show you how I am planning a coloring page with a color palette. So I always use a color palette when coloring because I don't see as a colorist the ending result I want to achieve, but I know which colors I want to use. So we are working in the book Colors of Christmas by Nikolett Delafraye. This is a book I received from the illustrator herself. So as a thank you, I want to do a color along in this book. This is the book on the good quality paper. You can buy this one on Amazon paper, but this is the good quality book and you can buy that on her website or on Etsy. So this is the good quality paper. Okay, so I thought to color this wreath because the technique I'm going to use, you can use on any Christmas wreath or any other wreath you want. It's just a technique I'm going to show you how I start a page and how I finish a page. So I thought a wreath, the base is green. So that means I wanted to have a color palette with like a bright emerald green in it. And when I think of Christmas, I think of maybe a color of red. And I saw some Christmas bells as well, so maybe some yellows. So that was my starting point. And then I have some color palette books. This is the Summer Colette book of Joanna Stone. I have 4 of her books now. She has a Christmas book as well, but I don't have it yet. And I was thinking we can do this color palette. So the main thing about this book, like this is the main color palette. So the most colors in the page. And these are the complementary colors. That means those are the colors that are going to give you some accents in the page, but really going to stand out when you're using these. Okay, so I am also a colorist who likes to base with something. So I'm going to base with water-based markers for this page. If you don't have water-based markers, you can use watercolor pencils, you can use watercolor paints, whatever you prefer. This book is single-sided, so you can use alcohol markers as well. So just take whatever you have. I'm going to use the Staedtler pigment brush pens for basing. So I have my case over here. So the first thing I want to do is match my water-based markers with the colors I have over here and maybe some over here, and I'm going to put them to the side. So those are the only markers I'm going to use, and then your page is going to look very cohesive. Okay, so I didn't prepare anything besides which page I wanted to do and which color palette I wanted to pick. So we're going to see what we have here. So I have like maybe a sky. I have like a mint green, but that is not going to be. I cannot match the colors exactly, so I'm going to do it as close as I can get it. So I have mint green in the Staedtler pigment brush pens. This is mint, but I don't think it is going to be green enough. No, okay, so I'm just going to scribble my markers and I'm going to see which color is going to be pretty close. Like I think this color, this is the pastel green, is going to match my mint green as close as possible. So this is a marker I'm going to put to the side. Then again, to give you a next example, I have like a sky blue. So this is pretty close, but I know there is a color in the Staedtlers that is maybe a little bit better. No, I'm going to take the first one. So the color I'm going to use is ice blue. Okay, so this is actually I'm going to do for the rest of the colors of this color palette, and then we will get started. Okay, so I have swatched my colors. So I have now 10 colors to work with. That doesn't mean I am going to use them all. The main colors I'm going to use are the ones on the top, but I'm going to add some accents in these colors. Okay, so what I'm going to use for the golden yellow is the yellow in the pigment brush pens. It's this one. Then for the second, the buttercup, I'm going to use bright yellow. It's not exactly the same, but it's like a darker yellow, so it's going to work fine. For the sienna, I'm going to use burnt sienna. It's not exactly the same, but it really doesn't matter. We're going on top of that with coloring pencils, so we can adjust the colors a little bit. For espresso, I'm going to use dark brown. The colors are going to be in the description box if you are interested. For the forest green over here, I'm going to use the May green. Then for the sky blue, I'm going to use ice blue. And then for the lavender, I'm going to use warm gray light. The Staedtler pigment brush pens have now 72 colors, so you cannot have the exact match, but that really doesn't matter. If it is in the same direction, it is going to work fine. For the coral, I'm going to use coral, so that was an easy one. For the soft pink, I'm going to use light rosé. And for the mint green, I am going to use pastel green. Okay, so this is going to be my color palette. So this is how I start picking out my colors. The first step in coloring my page is doing the background. I mostly do it first. I always watch my photo of my color palette, and mostly I do the background as I see it over here on the picture. So that means my background was going to be yellow, from a very pale yellow to like an ochre color. So that was going to be my background if I was doing one. For the reef, I don't think I need a background, so I'm going to start directly with the water-based markers, so for basing. Maybe I will add it at the end of the page if I think it is necessary, but yeah, for a reef, mostly I don't do it. Okay, so this was the color palette. This was the Sunflower Field in the Summer Color Palette book by Joanna Stone. I'm going to put it on the side so I can see it every time I am coloring the page. And then we're going to take our book and we are going to get started. Okay, so if I have some elements, I am sure I want a certain color for that element, I start with that. The other elements, I don't know what color I'm going to do that. I am not somebody who can plan the whole page in advance, so that's the reason why it is very hard for me to film a color along, because then you have to have an idea what you're going to do. But this is like an explanation video, so yeah, this is maybe a little bit easier for me. So all the greenery, so the reef that is after all these ornaments is going to be in the brightest green. So the one I'm going to use is May green, and I'm going to color everything in the base in this color, and then we will see further what we're going to do. So I'm going to do this in a speed coloring, and I will back to you in 1 second. Okay, so I colored the base of the reef. So now you see a lot better all the elements that we have to color with the other colors. So in this color palette, we have two types of green. So we have the forest green and then we have the mint green. So the mint green was our pastel green. And I'm going to do all the extra leaves that are on the reef, but that is going to be a different green, so it pops out a little bit more. So I'm going to color these and I will be back in a second. Okay, so we colored everything in the second color of green. I think that were leaves. Okay, the third thing I know I want in a certain color are the Christmas bells and maybe the stars. We can do them in gold. So the lightest yellow I'm going to use for that. So I will do that in the shade of yellow and we will see how far we can get. Okay, so I did everything in yellow. What I was thinking that was like a little bit of gold. We can always go with gold glitter on top of it or something. So our main colors in our color palette, I'm going to show it to you again, are especially the browns and the yellows. So I want to be those colors in a lot of my elements and then these colors just in some hints. So we have our three colors over here we haven't used yet, and I want to use it on some bigger elements. So one of the biggest elements I see is the bow. So I think it will be cute if I do it in maybe some white, and maybe the darkest brown. And yeah, then we will see what we will do. Okay, so the next elements that are standing out to me are the Christmas ornaments. So the Christmas balls. So I think I am going to do them also in some brown, the burnt sienna, the dark yellow, and maybe some hints of the warm gray, because I think I'm going to use them for the small elements, and then I'm going on top of that with some silver glitter gel pen, just to give it a little bit more interest. And the yellow, I'm going to leave that yellow. So I'm going to do that, and then we are going to have some smaller elements, and then we can do those in the remaining colors. So we will see. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the berries also in a shade of the darkest brown and in the darkest yellow. And then all the rest we're going to do in the complementary colors. Okay, and now all the smaller elements on our page are going to be in the colors we haven't used. So the light blue, the coral and the pink. And I'm going to add some hints of gray to it because I want some glitter gel pen on those elements as well. So this is just for some accents in some complementary colors. So that is going to be all the rest of the page. Okay, so this is how I base my pages. So now I'm going on top of that with some coloring pencils to add some depth and a silver glitter gel pen, and on the dot some glitter glue just to give it some dimension. So this is how I plan my coloring pages. So the coloring pencils is a very relaxing part of the process because I mapped out all my colors I want on my page. So now I just pick two coloring pencils for shading all the pink, and then some coloring pencils to shade all the green. So it goes very quickly this way. And I'm going to show you my completed page at the end of the video. So I hope this helped anyone. And if you want some extra pages, how I start and finish my page with a color palette, you can always let me know. So yeah, I hope this was helpful and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.